What's up, everybody? Is it a bad omen? Let me tell you what happened. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you what happened. Started the stream, and for the first time, it just completely collapsed. Hopefully, it's not a bad sign for tonight. Welcome to the Lone Wolves podcast. I am the Doc, John Macaroon. Man, it's a weird time. It's a weird time for the Detroit Lions. This is one of the weirdest weeks in Lions history. Weird week in Lions history. First of all, this stream never crashed before. I have a good setup. So I just pushed the button and the system didn't want to go to work on a Thursday, which is my favorite day of the week. What the heck's going on? The stream started off with a technical glitch for the first time ever, but we're going to break it all down outside of the glitches and the technology. I'm excited. I'm about to head out there in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Brave the cold, and I'm excited to see the Detroit Lions beat the Dallas Cowboys. Going to be a short stream, 30 minutes or so, and we're going to preview what's going to happen. Look, it's a big game for both teams. I feel like this game features two teams kind of very similar setups, very similar type talent. I do think that the Cowboys might have the edge with their tight end Ferguson and as well as two great wide receivers. The Lions are going to have to adapt with their secondary. But I think it's going to be very interesting with Jared Goff and Dak Prescott going back and forth. The Cowboys are coming to town really, really frustrated with what the Lions did last year. If you remember, I went down to AT&T Stadium and the Lions curb stomped the Cowboys. And it was Jerry Jones' birthday. The Cowboys are fighting for a playoff spot, but so are the Detroit Lions. What do you guys think? What do you think is going to happen today? What is going to happen at Ford Field? Thursday Night Football. Make sure you check in for all your pregame stuff, key matchups, national analysis, local analysis, all featured on our website, Detroit Lions on SI. Again, I'm the Doc, John Macaroon. For the early 100 people in here, smash the like button. Thanks for dealing with the patience, starting a stream a little bit later than expected, and then having the whole system crash. The whole system was like, no way, Jose, you're not starting just yet. Hopefully it's not a bad omen. But here's what I think is going to happen. I think this is two teams that are desperate and are going to play very well. They have both had a week off. They're going to come in and they're going to make it a track meet. I think that it's going to be difficult sledding for both Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, and for the Dallas Cowboys running attack, I think is going to be difficult too. The Lions defensive line is quite stout against the run. So I think this is the game I think everybody wants to see. Dak versus Jared Goff. Do you see it that way? I feel like, we're going to talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown and if he's going to play. My gut feeling says he doesn't play. Why risk it? He was listed as questionable, which increases his odds. But would you risk it? We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But I think this game goes back and forth. I think there's going to be some highlights. I think that CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, Jameson Williams, they're going to want to put up some highlights. I think that everybody knows what's at stake. The team that wins this game has a much better chance to lurk a little closer to the playoffs. And the team that loses, if the Lions lose this contest, if they lose, they got like a 12.5%, 13% chance of making the playoffs, all but basically ending their hopes. They can't lose another game if they lose today. I think the Lions are going to play their best game. You think that the noise was loud locally. Nationally, everybody's dumping on the Lions, which I think is a little excessive, but I get it. You have some analysts saying that the Lions' entire Super Bowl window's closed. There's a heavy analysis on the coaching staff, the decisions that Brad Holmes made. This is life as a top-flight NFL team. And the Lions want it. They embrace it. But there are things to critique about this football team. But I'm curious your guys' thoughts, too. What do you think is going to happen tonight? I'm a little more optimistic. I feel like when everyone counts the Lions out, they tend to kind of have one of those games where they step up. But you got to remember the Cowboys are 3-1 in their last 4 Thursday night games. They have success. They sense desperation with their season. But I feel like their defense is also, does Matt Eberflus really scare you guys? Doesn't scare me one iota. Not one iota does Matt Eberflus scare me. And I do think some of you guys exactly are viewing this as a huge statement as to what the Lions are capable of, a referendum game. Shout out to the early 150 people in here across 2 platforms. If you're on X, hit the like button, hit retweet, comment there. If you're here, hit the like button here on YouTube. It helps us grow. And if you are so inclined, leave a super chat. Your comments that are left, gifts, go right to the front of the line. And you can always become a member to get access to exclusive benefits and the free emojis that have now been included. Shout out to SW Lion 26, Joe Besco, Alan W, Chief IT Hips. Shout out to you. Brent DeWitt, always great to see you. Smash those emojis. Got a whole probably half hour, 45 minutes or so of me previewing this contest before I get out of here. Joe Besco. Hopefully he took one for the team. Yeah, internet crash is always fun. But hey, sometimes the system is like, wait a minute. Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon. We're not ready for you to stream yet. Usually the computer is ready to go at 10 p.m., not at 1:30. Always enjoy seeing Brent in the chat. Make sure you smash those emojis. Let everybody see what I'm talking about. The fellas and myself. Who knows? The longer you stay, maybe we'll create an emoji of you guys. SW Lion. Hi, Doc all. Do you have any idea why the Lions aren't using 2 back sets the whole game? With the struggles they're having on offensive line, that ought to be a no-brainer layup for MCDC and the OC. Here's the thing. The Lions clearly, with 1 running back at a time, are trying to preserve their 2 running backs for the stretch haul. They feel like they can extend the careers of both of those guys. And when you have 2 running backs, you're going to probably have one of them block, have one of those guys potentially be, not utilized in a play. And you want to kind of conserve both guys. I think that's been the strategy, but you're absolutely right. They should mix it up a little bit because opponents have figured out the Lions. The Lions haven't adapted too much because they've been dealing with so many injuries. When you lose Sam Laporta and Brock Wright, you lose a heavy amount of your blocking prowess. The teams are, bringing the pressure up the middle in the interior, and they're forcing the running backs and the team to adapt. And it hasn't been that great. So I just think that they like the idea of keeping a guy rested, fresh, giving them a series at a time, or mixing and matching. But you're absolutely right. I think that at this point in time, it is time to throw that stuff out the window and get after it. Like many people are saying, maybe today you don't play as much man-to-man. You play more zone to try and limit the ability of the Cowboys to go explosive because they might want to throw the ball 50 times. They may just say, you don't have a cornerback over 6 feet tall. You have 3 docs out there covering. They're like, wow, Dak is salivating. He's like, I might throw for 400 yards today. You got to try to find a way to limit the explosive plays. Otherwise, the Cowboys are going to run you out of that Ford Field, and quickly. Always enjoy seeing you, SW Lion. Chief IT Hips, 83% of the money's on the Cowboys, and all these shows I've listened to outside of the doc are saying the Lions are cooked. Lions win 31-17. I predicted them to win. I do have value in the being backed up against the wall, urgency, knowing that if Amon-Ra's not there, you have to lock in more. You had the week off, and it's Dallas. You also got to look to your opponent. Your opponent also is up and down. You're basically playing a mirror of yourself. But when there's 2 desperate teams, I feel like there's an opportunity for the Lions to make that one key play late. And also, too, Dak Prescott is a turnover merchant. Merchant turnover. I feel like, and plus he's on my fantasy team. Dak Prescott is my fantasy quarterback. It's boom or bust. You've seen plenty of games with Dak Prescott, Chief. 3 interceptions, 100 yards, and he plays bad. Ford Field might rattle him. This game is not going to be, out of hand either way, in my opinion. I think it's going to be close, back and forth. Both teams making plays, both teams making highlight plays, a lot of touchdowns. And let's just hope that this game is not left up to Brandon Aubrey because that dude will just make it. What do you think? I like it. What do you guys think of Chief IT Hips? 31-17, 2 touchdown victory for the Lions. Joe Besco remembers, best birthday present for Jerry ever, a beatdown. The best was when they panned to his box. That was great. Cynthia, good to see you. Always good to check in. What do you think? How do you think about the game today, Cynthia? You nervous? Brent highlighted the emojis. Check them out in the chat. Brent has the emojis. That's what you get with the membership. Shout outs. Keep them coming, Brent. That's awesome. Broski Bear, shout out to you, 4040. John, what will be the impact of starting a fourth-string practice squad tight end? Does that mean Skipper plays tight end? Will it limit 2 tight end sets? I wonder if they're going to go more to 11 personnel. I still think they want to use 12 personnel. I think they elevate a tight end as well. I think that you don't go away from what you do. I mean, you have them there for a reason. The coach is a tight end. I don't know if you go away from 12 personnel. I think they still do it. It's going to be important to establish the run. It may be tough with Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams and one of the stoutest lineups along the defensive tackle position for the Cowboys. It's going to be tough. But I do think that we're going to see a game that's going to feature Goff and Dak, and I have that as a banner. We're going to talk about it. See, the Lions, they do make adjustments, but for the most part, guys are asked to fill in for those roles. And I think Ferkser and Ross Dwelly can block. They can do the job. And I'm curious with the new guys, if they elevate one more, what that'll bring to the table. Shane Zylstra's back, but he's been ruled out. Chiv's in here. Man, I appreciate your loyalty to the Lions and the positivity that you share. You share a good perspective. Don't ever stop. Definitely noticed online. A fair take on the Lions. I always see it. Dan Campbell should put the uniform on and play tight end. Right? But guess what would happen, Jim? Come on, you know what I'm going to say. First play of the game, Goff to Dan Campbell. What a 14-yard play. Oh, Dan seems to be hurt. Questionable to return. Won't see him no more. Dan's got 2 plays in him before he blows out his hamstring. Don't check out my short section. That's just been all on this channel. That's just been all complaining about the injuries, complaining about everything that's been happening. Good place to vent. Oh, look at Dan. Just had the potential. What do you think happens today, Chim? I'm curious. What do you think happens today? I think the majority of my staff at Lions on SI, you can check the predictions. Most of us have the Lions winning, but close. 31-27, 30-27, 31-27, in that range. First 1 to 30, baby. And it's going to be the Lions. It's got to be the Lions. You got to protect the home field, Ford Field. And guys, remember, it wasn't me booing. You guys have been anxious and having some angst. You guys are booing quite loudly, not me. I sit quietly and type. So you can't say I'm too negative. You're the ones booing. I heard it loud and clear. My ears ring after the games. I just don't want to see a rowdy Ford Field. Are there going to be drinks in you? We'll see how you guys watch it. SW line, can they protect Goff more than 3 seconds? Can they get to Dak in less than 3 seconds? That's what I'm curious about. That's the key. You guys know what's up. It's going to be very much paramount that somebody steps up. I'm very curious. I believe that when they said they were going to make personnel changes, I think you're going to see less of Aleem McNeil at defensive end, and you're going to see more of Davenport or Al-Quadin Muhammad. And you need Hutch. Absolutely. You need Hutch. Yeah, we need a big game from Hutch. I think he usually does well versus the Cowboys via Chim Richards. All right. One of the key decisions that needs to be made. What do you guys think should happen with Amon-Ra? I am more of a cautious, similar to how the Lions operate. If you know you're going to get a really healthy Amon-Ra for the next month, you gamble and you say, you know what? Sit down today, make sure your ankle is close to 100% as possible against the Rams, and we can go 4-0. There's a legit chance you catch the Rams on a bad day, and then you sweep your division rivals. And then I think you're going to curb stomp the Steelers. You have a chance. Even if you lose today, the odds are low, but it's still there. The reason why my angst has always been high now is because I kind of believe that the Super Bowl dream for this year is over. I think the Patriots would do things to you that you don't want to have happen. I think that, the Denver Broncos would make it a fun game too if they meet in the Super Bowl, if the Lions were to get there. I think it would be tough sledding for this team to be road warriors and go through the whole playoffs. You never know. If getting Kirby Joseph back, getting a little bit healthier helps this team make a run. I just don't think it's a Super Bowl run. But, We shall see. To me, I'm more cautious. Amon-Ra, I know he's a warrior. He wants to test it out. I firmly believe we'll go down there and we'll see him running around. But me personally, I think that it's wiser to let him rest because not only he's not a vertical receiver, his job is to cut, to get open. How effective is he going to be? How does that change how the Lions offense operates? And also, too, you have a chance against the Cowboys who don't have the best defense. Let's see what Isaac TeSlaa can do. Let's see how things are adapted. If they play a young rookie along the offensive line in his debut, does that shorten the time window? So we'll see. What do you guys think? Should Amon-Ra play? It's going to be key. This game, to me, JMO time, Isaac TeSlaa. You got 4 guys that got to step up. Gibbs, Montgomery got to carry this team. They got to get at least 3-4 yards of carry. And JMO has to be a possession receiver. And for JMO, it's quite simple. You're the number one. Don't drop the football. No mental errors. This has got to be a clean game in which you extend the chains, get on the same page with Jared Goff. And I know you guys love it, so I won't forget. TK85, Mr. Tom Kennedy might show up. The ultimate pro. And I know you guys, that's why we put it, I'll be honest, that's why I put him in pictures. You guys love Tom Kennedy. And what's not to love? He's a grinder. He's been on the practice squad for years, up and down in the 53-man rotation. He's the ultimate 54th man on the roster. We'll see. We'll know right around games 8:15. We'll know about 7:15, 7:30 if Frazier's in the lineup. I don't know. Would you put Frazier against guys? Come on. You guys are like ruthless. Cynthia's ruthless. Would you put Frazier going up against Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams? Welcome to the NFL, kid. There you go. Game 1. You guys are ruthless. My goodness. But I mean, if it's next week, you got Jared Verse and a bunch of other guys too. So there's no real holes along most defensive lines. That's where most teams, invest outside of Brad Holmes. Listen, the Lions invested at the defensive end. So we shall see, after this year, what the defensive end position opposite of Aiden looks like. I want to see how the fans would react if Brad's like, we're just going to bring back Al Quadine and Marcus Davenport for another year. What's wrong? Why would you guys ask that? Allen, Clowney is likely out for Dallas. Did the Lions let me know if I have a story ready if the Lions if they elevated anybody? Clowney is likely out for Dallas via Allen. The elevated defensive end from the practice squad just now. He has a hamstring injury. That makes sense. Appreciate you, Mark G. Shout out to you. Dak, you rock. I have a bad feeling about tonight. Lions lose 35-14. We just don't have a pass rush, and those wideouts are going to feast on us. Putting it out there. 35-14. Man, I appreciate the nice words. Thank you for commenting. That means a lot. Smash the like button. I think we're going to know around 3-4 for the Lions. I think the deadline might be 4 to get the call up. I would be surprised if Hassanin got called up after one practice, one or 2 weeks of practice. I think they're pretty good at defensive end. Al-Quadin Muhammad, Marcus Davenport. Stop playing Ali McNeil there. I would be surprised if it was Hassanin. I think it's going to be a tight end. We'll see. Shout out to you, Jason. That you guys see that story with Hassanin almost taking out Goff? Jared Goff. He told me that story too, which I didn't print it. We were just having a casual conversation. He told me that last week. That would have been wild. I was like, oh my gosh. What do you guys think happened? Drop your score predictions in there to the 250 people in here. Thank you. Thank you. Smash the like button. That's a free and easy way to help us grow. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Do you use him as a decoy today? Game time decision. Follow at Detroit Podcast. You'll see me there. I will take a picture from the stadium, and we tweet all throughout the game. We'll have locker room videos. There's going to be no video podcast at midnight. I'm not going to get home until 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. So we'll react tomorrow. React live. I don't know. You tell me when you want me to react. 10 a.m., 1 p.m. You want to rest up? When do you want Doc to react to the win? But it ain't going to be tonight. And what happens is we're going to have a lot of content before the game. We'll obviously have a game story. We'll have a recap of who performed well. And then right at 6 a.m. tomorrow, we're just going to go every hour. What Dan said, what Jared said, what grades. We'll have the full recap because I know you guys want to sleep. You don't want to stay up and read and watch. But if you want to, they'll be, and if there's an injury, we'll have a recap of that. But typically at night games, we know that you guys are hardworking people. You want to get to sleep. We'll start having coverage after the game at 6 a.m. We'll have a game story, and we'll have studs and duds, and then we'll all go to sleep. So make sure if you go down to the game, be safe, travel wisely. I did tell you guys a fib. Potentially, I said, if you remember early in the days, I said, when the Lions give us free parking, but it's out by Jefferson. But I have a contact, so I can park a little closer. It's cold. I don't want to wait in the shuttle. I'm like, it's going to be late. It's going to be 12:30 in the morning. I want to get in and out. So I called in a favor. Us Middle Easterns, we all have guys about everything. So I called in a favor. I want to be right next to the stadium. And I can find a spot right next to the stadium. I called in a favor. Am I weak? Listen, I'm a common man, hardworking guy, but if you have contacts, it'd be stupid not to take advantage of them, right? Would you rather wait in a shuttle for a half hour, freeze, or take 10 steps and be out the door? So I fibbed earlier in the stream. You got to take advantage of it. You have people, you got to take advantage of it. Listen, I'm like, hey, listen, man, the Lions got me out by Jefferson. I'm going to freeze my ass off. Listen, I don't want to be soft, but can I get a spot? For free. Jay Steves, 27-24 Lions. Love it. Brent, 31-30 Lions. So, yeah, I want to get in and out of the stadium. I want to get home safely. But it's a late night. Hopefully, it's a fast-paced game. Hopefully, there's a lot of runs. What do you guys think about what Dan Orlovsky said? I didn't know that Dan Orlovsky is the ultimate hater. Dan Orlovsky has become I know he loves Stafford, but maybe because of the slander or how it went down, he is been saying some negative things about the Lions. He said on the Pat McAfee show today, I'll put the banner up here. He says that the Detroit Lions are not good enough to play man on George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, which I think is smart. I mean, you look at it, you have your top safety and top cornerback out. He says the Lions must play zone. Now, here's the problem. Here's the benefits. What do you, first of all, make of Dan Orlovsky? Do you just look at him? A lot of people always message, is that the guy that ran out of the back of the end zone? I do value his knowledge. He watches film. He understands quarterback play, but he definitely is somebody that is in love with Matthew Stafford. He says that the Lions cannot and are not good enough to play man-to-man, especially with that pass rush. I get it. I can see why he says that. I can see why he believes that the Lions with Amik Robertson and DJ Reed, both cornerbacks sub 6 feet, that might not be something that is something that could potentially be beneficial for the Lions to play man-to-man. So we'll see. I agree. I think the Lions are good enough to play man-to-man. You've seen it before where they've been, a unit that's stout and had good games. So we'll see. What do you guys think? Do the Lions, do they have the opportunity to stop CeeDee Lamb and to limit George Pickens? I feel like there's going to be a lot of touchdowns. JMO 2, Pickens 2, CeeDee Lamb 1. Shift. Always good to see you. Everybody thinks Hutch will get off today. I don't know. Haven't been liking what I've been seeing out of him lately. I think the number one thing people want out of Hutchinson is more. They want to see him overcome. Now he's going to be battling against a tackle that's not stout. So this could be a Hutchinson, stat padding fest. But you're right. Against bigger opponents, you got to play well. The Packers left tackle, the Packers right tackle handled Hutch. That nobody wanted to see that. Bam Bam, always good to see you in the chat. Bam Bam, I'm excited for JMO and Tesla. Let young Lions earn their scars on their shields and let St. Brown rest up. Lions 24, Cowboys 17. Love it. Bam Bam. Hopefully you get a chance to enjoy it at your couch or get down to the stadium. Tesla, what do you guys think about Tesla? Do you think the Lions can how are they going to cover these guys? How are these guys going to cover these? I mean, I feel everyone feels like Dak Prescott is going to have an amazing opportunity today to have an amazing opportunity to do some great things. And sorry with this banner, I figured out I put a banner up that has a timer on it. Now I don't know how to get it off. So let's turn this timer off. Let's see, show for 60 seconds, show for 20, add banner. Let's see. There we go. I added a banner with a timer for the first time ever. You know why? It's because we talking about Dan Orlovsky. The Dan Orlovsky banner wants to glitch. Out of the back of the end zone. That's my out of the end zone, is creating a banner. The subliminal messages this episode has been kind of funny. The glitch beforehand. I don't know. I'm getting a bad feeling. Man, first of all, don't blame me. But the universe is starting to kind of start talking. First of all, they're 7-5. I have parked where the Lions have told me to park, except for today. I'm calling in a favor. The stream crashed when we started. Talking about Dan Orlovsky, who ran out of the back of the end zone, I created a banner defunctly for the first time ever. I've never created a banner with a timer. I never even knew that you could do that. It's a silly feature. I don't know. Does that mean a lot of botch plays? Well, at least I think we can acknowledge that Jake Bates will actually connect with the football. Did you guys see the kicker? Did you see the Giants kicker, Ho? I know I'm butchering his name. It's probably not even his name, but we all know the joke of the week is the word of the week last week was Ho. Everybody felt like using that word for some reason. Did you see Ho miss the kick or plant his foot? Everybody's talking about it. How do you do that? I mean, how do you plant your foot and miss? Big Wolf. Dano, not in the back of the end zone, right? Norman Paul, what are you talking about? The Lions are going to win. I love your confidence. It's a tough, listen, they feature great weapons. They got a great running attack. They got a great tight end. I think the problem that the Lions are going to have is Ferguson. I feel like reasonably Pickens and Lamb are going to have good games, but Ferguson might feast. I think pay attention to Ferguson. That tight end could feast on everything, especially if they play zone. What do you guys think about what Dan Orlovsky said? He said the Lions are not good enough at all to play man-to-man. Man, it's a tough situation to kind of look at. I would have loved to have seen Terrion Arnold in this contest. Terrion versus Lamb. Terrion versus Pickens. That would have been fun. That would have been fun to see for sure. But it ain't going to happen. And I do think that Amik Robertson and DJ Reader are going to step up. They're going to have to. But there's a problem, guys. I mean, they're gritty, they're nice, they're talented dudes, nice dudes in the locker room, always open, very professional. It's just a natural problem when you got two north 6-foot receivers versus two sub 6-foot corners. Dak just got to throw it up there, and there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem, in my opinion, regarding how the Lions are going to stop the Dallas Cowboys. Could it be even higher scoring? Could it be lower scoring? Could it be one of those games where both teams try to run the ball to keep the other's offense off the field? I feel like Eberflus is not going to put together a scheme that's going to limit the Lions. I wonder if he's going to actually go for the interior. Is he going to see the patterns that other teams did? Does Eberflus have the wherewithal to copy the patterns of the Packers and teams like the Eagles and how they were able to attack the Lions? We shall see. It's going to be, I wonder, did you guys hear what Calvin Shepard said? He said the defense is going to make some adjustments personnel and scheme-wise. Now, he said don't take that to fruition, but I think what he meant was I do think they're going to play more zone coverage in the secondary. I do think that they may not. They may just keep everything in front of them, and they may not try to pressure too much. Because guess what? If you don't pressure and you fail, now Dak has open lanes, and he's got even more of an opportunity to get the ball. You just force him into spots that make him a little uncomfortable. But you gotta win your battles. The defensive line has to step up. I wonder who's going to get more playing time. Does that mean Davenport? Is that Al-Quadin Muhammad? Does anybody opposite of Hutch step up? Pressure from the secondary. I love that, Keith. Branch having an opportunity. Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes off the edge too. Maybe have Derek Barnes a little bit with an opportunity. Now, again, I hope the universe is not conspiring to have bad things happen. You know who's on the other side of the Cowboys on the defensive line, right? Big 41. You know who that is, right? Gatorade pants, yellow pants, piss pants, whatever he did. Do you think he wants some revenge on the Lions? Double check. Make sure I'm accurate because I'm not adept at the depth chart and the injury report at the moment live. But James Houston is on that defense. I don't want to see him sack the quarterback. If he's on the ground at Ford Field doing a dance, you may see a grumpy Doc tomorrow. I don't want to see Houston taking over. If Houston's a story, then we know the football gods are purely locked in and laughing at the Lions. Everybody talking about the lack of the Lions pass rush. You had a guy that had 8 sacks but couldn't stop the run, wasn't complete, and your defensive coordinator didn't fall in love with him. Oh, by the way, he's a draft pick that you had that's not here. So they're starting to tally up over the 5 years of guys that you drafted that aren't here. Pascal, not here. Wingo can't get on the field. Healthy scratch, Mekhi Wingo. Probably another one this week. Maybe this week he gets a chance. It's not inactive. The inactives list, for you guys will know, 90 minutes beforehand. So for the 300 people here, you'll know it comes out for an 8:15 kickoff. You'll know who's inactive. Probably the decision will be made. So let's do our math. Bada boop. 1 hour beforehand is 7:15 minus another 30 minutes, hour and a half. 6:45, we should know. 6:45, we'll know about Amon-Ra officially. Petty? How so? What did I do this week? Yeah, of course. Doc is a petty little guy from Joseph O. Yeah, who doesn't like being a little petty? It's fun. When you kind of embrace it, living in petty is kind of fun. It really is. Did you see my tweet about Darius Slay? I said when he purportedly did not want to go to the Bills, I said, if you guys wanted to claim him, he was going to claim a hamstring problem. If the Lions claim him, he doesn't want to go to Buffalo. If the Lions claimed him, he would have had two grade 3 hamstring tears. 2, not 1, 2. He would have been like, "Oh, my hamstring. I can't go to Detroit. Ow." SW Lion. Doc is cool. That's all you can ask for. If certain people don't like you, will comment, and certain people like you. Now you have an opportunity to have some success, have a little fun. Not everybody can love you. If everybody loves you, you aren't saying much of anything. If everybody loved me, I would think something's wrong. And plus, I have a fan base now that hates me because now they know that I'm one of them. And I'm not a fan of the Walmart Wolverines and their whole mythical fan base and mythical program. Mythical. But that's how it should be. I would not expect Michigan fans to be loving Spartans, but we can have mutual fun and mutual banter. Mythical Wolverines. Oh, and also, too, you guys signed a mythical quarterback. Can you believe the Wolverines started the whole year without a quarterback? They paid him, the mythical man, $3 million to hand the ball off. You guys are expensive. Mythical. We had 2 guys and paid them a couple $100,000. But we had a guy and we benched. So I really shouldn't talk. Can we make college football quarterbacks great again? Aiden Childs and Bryce Underwood can't throw the football. Joy for me. Oh, man. Donkey Kong 43. Doc, buddy, when Dallas kicks our ass in a few hours, we should do a mock draft post-game show, baby. You guys want me on here at midnight, 12:30 when I get home, 1 a.m.? Fired up at 1 a.m.? I don't know. I don't think I can. The 11 o'clock games don't really lend to, with my schedule, I have to put up content. Got to edit the videos that I'm going to film, write the stories for the morning. So sorry. The podcast, I'm thinking will be 10 a.m. tomorrow, the reaction show, or 1 p.m. You tell me what suits you guys as a viewer, the 300 in here, 10 a.m. or 1 p.m. I feel like 1 p.m. is a little better for me, but we'll see. Detroit Black. I came here for the doc, not to hear him bash Michigan. Well, you got to have a little bit. Appreciate you, Detroit Black. What do you think is going to happen? Listen, we got to. It's a little salt. Come on. Like, let's say you do all your friends that come over, all of them love Michigan, and they come over, there's not one state guy. You go, hey, pal, what's up with you? It's crap talking. Give it back. Booner had the shot of the night last night. Go check it out on Crunch Time. We went back and forth. I was singing, and he dropped a hammer on me. That's what sports is about. What do you think is going to happen, Detroit Black? It's good to see you in here. Hopefully see you more in the comments, see you in here regularly. But you got to have a little bit. What happens tonight? What have you been thinking about the Lions? Are you hopeful, optimistic, a little panicked? What's going to happen today? Are you thinking that Dak can light us up? Because here we go. This is a game I want to see. Here it is. Who shines tonight, baby? It's the same guy. Have you guys ever seen Jared Goff and Dak Prescott in the same room? It's the same guy. It's the same guy. They both can sling it. They both have had up and down careers. Both have been paid heavily. Both can't win consistently in the playoffs. Meaning championship level. They both can win playoff games. They both can advance, but still both have 0 rings. It's the same guy. I feel like both can go off the radar and off the rails with their throws and their ball security. Dak has a little more natural swagger. Like when he carries himself, he has a little bit more aura. Jared Goff is more laid back, more like a common dude, just walks around, does his thing. I'll say this. When I saw Dak, he had aura. Like he carried himself tight. So we'll see. We shall see. Who shines? Who plays better? And what are you guys' thoughts about Goff the last month? Who do you think shines better tonight? This game could be one of those classic great games where both are slinging it, getting the ball to the receivers, or turnover fest. I feel like it's going to be not one or the other. It's going to be both are going to go back and forth, or it's going to be a dud. And they both said it. You got to pressure both guys. I think that the Cowboys have a better chance to get a little bit more pressure. Quinn Williams, Kenny Clark, they have a chance. And I wonder if Eberflus learned how to attack the Lions' offensive line through the interior. We shall see. ATN goes with Dak. Dak, because he's got his weapons healthy against a bit of a depleted secondary. That's a problem. I think the Lions are lucky they're avoiding Diggs again. And tell me, I'll tell you this. Guys, you know how I know it was a bad week? You had beat writers, you had the fan base a little antsy and wanting Brad Holmes to call Darius Slay. Like, did you guys watch football? Darius was been cooked last year. Guys, he hung on a little too long. The Eagles don't just let guys go that can ball. Think about it. The Steelers' defense is atrocious, and he was on it. They have these things called PFF grades. They have these things called coverage grades and opposing quarterback, passer ratings. They were not good. Yet you had beat writers bring them into town. I was like, we didn't even write that. We write everything. You guys sounded a little desperate with Darius. I am a little surprised that, Buffalo seems like a nice little fit over the Steelers, but we'll see. But he's cooked. He unfortunately, he had a career. This was his last year. You may have seen the very, very last of Darius Slay playing National Football League football. But he had a good career. Former Lion, but and when it goes, it goes. He lost a little bit of a step, and that's what happens. But you guys are some of you were like a little desperate. And you use this word too. Y'all want Laken Tomlinson. Guys. No, you don't want Laken Tomlinson. Trust me, you do not want Laken Tomlinson. Let's stop with every line. We didn't even do that. Should the Lions bring back Laken? No. Trey, I don't know, did you see yesterday? He got a good one in there, but I also had a nice retort. You get to hear my singing voice. Doc, it's about time Booner got something on you. You've been kicking his ass for a long time since that hilarious show last year. Appreciate you. Yeah, it cannot, and also too, a debate cannot be universal one-sided. That's no fun. That's funny. Thank you. And so for those of you who don't know, every Wednesday for the last year, and you could tell now with what's going on, I don't think it used to go that long, an hour and 15 minutes, but the guys work hard. They're both working. They know I can talk. So they kind of get a little mental reprieve, and they know that I can carry a show and talk and entertain and poke needles, and we have a good time. And now you guys know it's a little bit of a bit where I go there to see if I can rile up Booner to see what defense he puts up. And he's gotten better. Yeah, he took some body blows last year, and he's gotten better. He's gotten confidence to speak up. But you can't speak up with a mythical title. Mythical. But that's all we got at Spartanland. That's all we got. So the chat yesterday was like, is that all you got? That's all I got. That's all I got. The Spartans are terrible. That's all I got. Detroit Fan Man 9899. Feel like Doc's going to be the guy who questions Brad about the 24 draft class. 2 years in, class is looking rough. Brad, after now back-to-back questionable years, have we learned anything to improve our process? I started. What do you mean you feel like? I already redrafted it. Go check it out. What do you think? I've already redrafted it. I get an Eagles linebacker. I get a Bengals defensive end. I take Mahogany, but I redrafted. And guess what? All those guys play. They're not great. That draft class that the Lions had, there wasn't, based on how it went down, tough pickings. But I redrafted Brad's draft. Detroit Lions on SI. Detroit fan, man. Appreciate it. You starting to know what kind of questions I like to ask? Great question, but I do rock with Brad. You should. Brad's the best general manager this organization has had. But now it's not time to compare Brad to Matt Millen. You compare Brad to Les Snead and Howie Roseman. Now we just need to go from good to great. That's what I've been saying this whole season. Brad didn't cook in 24 or 25. Maybe. The stuff coming out of 25 is looking okay. Tired ass Cowboys fan, welcome to Detroit. Welcome to the Detroit show. How y'all gonna do it? Here's how we're gonna do it. Y'all got Eberflus. We got Calvin Shepard. Point Detroit. Eberflus is just gonna let J-Mo do whatever. Remember, Eberflus is with the Bears. We got some cooking on the Bears defense for quite a bit. Over the middle, J-Mo, end arounds. J-Mo, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be the best player on the field. And unfortunately, you guys got Dak. Dak, listen, tired ass Cowboys fan. The reason why you're tired is Dak Prescott's overpaid and overrated. Now, you could say the same thing about Jared Goff. How Dak is making north of $55 million is crazy. We are looking at a game in which these two quarterbacks should be paid about 35 to 40. Realistic market. Why? Because you got Dak Prescott, who the little whiff of adversity goes away. And you got Jerry Jones, who meddles too much. He needs a general manager. My man Jerry needs a general manager. But he woke up this year. He woke up, he dusted off his suit, his 80-year-old suit, and it was like, oh, I got to get some players. Pickens' move was shrewd. Quinnen Williams, wow. Jerry woke up and found out who could ball for a year. After all those awful picks. But y'all, what? 6-5? 6-5-1, or whatever the record is? I can tell why. That's a good name for you, tired ass Cowboys fan. Let me tell you something. I will tell you though, that AT&T Stadium in Dallas, I went to Dallas. I ate y'all barbecue. I enjoyed Arlington. My God, he built a palace. I'm going to tell you something. Tired ass Cowboys fan. Your stadium dwarfs our stadium. Your stadium makes our stadium look like a Motel 6. No joke. No joke. Palatial. Marble floors. 50 TVs. I must have ate 4 times. I only eat once at Ford Field. I ate 4 times at Jerry's World. The man had a keg in the media room. The man hosted us like he liked us. 50 TVs, candy station. The media room was the best room I ever seen. That's why I went there. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to invest in this. Everybody says go to AT&T. Ate y'all barbecue in Dallas. I went down a day early. I went down on a Friday. I'm like, oh my God, this is some good barbecue down here. Brisket for day. Hey, brisket 4 days. I came back with the best vitamin D level ever. Got this wearing shorts in October. I was like, man, honey, we got to move to Dallas. I could fit in down there. Change my name to Juan. Fit right in. Tomorrow, check in tomorrow. I'll have I can't at 1 a.m. I appreciate that, tired ass. And we're just talking junk. Hopefully it's an entertaining game. Hopefully, after the Lions curb stomp you guys can get back after it. I respect. Listen, Schottenheimer, you come from great lineage. I like that hire. I wasn't one of the ones that laughed at y'all like the rest of the world when you hired Schottenheimer. I liked his dad growing up when he was with Kansas City. I respect your opinion and with the Chargers too. I respect your opinion. I hope you go live after the game. I'll be here. Win, lose, or draw. Enjoy your day. Lions are going to whoop on the Cowboys, baby. Because it's true. I credit you for coming in here. That was really cool to have opposing fan bases here. But check me out tomorrow. You guys are crazy. Trey, Doc, no problem waiting until 1 for the post game. Good. I thought you were going to say 1 a.m. Good. Perfect. All right. Jared Goff versus Dak Prescott. I think Jared Goff's going to have the bigger day. I think he's going to be locked in. He's got to turn things around. Guys, this is a big game. This is a big game referendum alert. This is a big game. This is going to determine pretty much in a big way if the Lions make it or don't. You're really going to be hard-pressed to beat the Rams if they play well. Puka is on point. Devontae Adams is going to cook. Stafford's going to cook. He's going to want to get a win against the Lions. So let's see what happens. Keys to the game. Your stars got to be your stars. J-Mo, and on both sides. Aiden's got to cook. If he doesn't get at least 2 sacks, it's going to be hard-pressed to stop Dak Prescott. You got to see him pressure the quarterback and get home. Negative plays. Get them behind the sticks. Jared Goff, you got to cook this offense. You got to keep it moving. You got to have this team going in the right direction. I think Dan Campbell, take the points. The fans are not going to turn on you. Promise. Take the points. Slow down. Keep things simple. Punt the ball. Your punter, Jack Fox, is getting the ball within the 20 regularly. He's having a historic great year. Trust your special teams. Score touchdowns and get Ford Field rocking. I think I have a feeling the Lions are going to win this one. The desperation's there. A lot of people think they're not going to win. A lot of your local beat writers don't think they're going to win. I got a feeling just of, you got to lock in without Amon-Ra. If he's there, you have a decoy because he's not going to be 100%. And plus, it's the Cowboys. The Cowboys just seem to choke for all the wrong reasons. It's like when the lights are the brightest, they choke the worst. One last thing here from Irv Gotti. Hey, Doc, do you expect Brad or Sheila to do a press conference in the near future? No. No, they won't. Brad will speak the day after the final elimination. Whether they win a Super Bowl, they eliminate from the playoffs, that will be the last time he talks. That will be the next time he talks. He's only missed one obligated press conference. He's not obligated, but the one that everybody does around the time of the trade deadline, he should have talked. And one more, Alan. Doc, what about the playoffs? Do you think we make the playoffs even if we win tonight? I think they win the play. I think they can get to the playoffs. Things happen. You have a favorable schedule compared to your opponents. But to me, the deflation happened after the Eagles game. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. Your offensive line needs work, and who knows who's going to be able to play in the playoffs? Another month? Who's gonna be available? You just can't count on anybody to be healthy. You can't count on the guys to get to the finish line. Thank you, guys. I want to shout out Patty Grimes. Phil, I don't think we're going to get Ahmed's debut. I could be wrong, but I haven't sensed that. They're taking it slow. Irv Gotti, Corey Patterson, Brand Gang Superstars. Bad timing, bro. We're about to hop out. Irv Gotti, SW Lion, July 4th, 1776. SW Lion, thank you so much. Giving you guys as much content as possible. I do think that you guys are liking the videos that are being popped up there, and I'm enjoying growing it. Near 5,000 subscribers. Hit the like button. Become a member. It's very inexpensive. You get the emojis. You get special shout outs. Also, I have hit up some sources or use a better word, those with knowledge. I did a member-only video that if you become a member, you'll see 6 minutes talking about the future of Taylor Decker. He's been talking to a former Lion about his situation. You want to know what the latest is with Taylor and his NFL future? I will be posting some member-only videos that those that are members will have access to. A little bit of information that is special that I garner being a quality NFL reporter. Can't just give it all for free. 98.5% will be free. Usually I'm keeping the website. It's my call, keeping the website as free as humanly possible. Thank you, guys. Become a member. You get to see them. I post about 4 or 5 member exclusive videos a week insider information, just my reaction to the news of the day and stuff like that you can get on demand. Boom. You want to go to YouTube? You're a member? Boom. Push the button. Access to some videos. Let's curb stomp the Cowboys again. Why not? I'm the Doc, John Macaroon. Thank you for listening for this hour. It'll be a fun time. Tune in at Detroit Podcast for our live tweets throughout the whole game. I'll be there. This is the Lone Wolves Podcast. We're available on Spotify, Apple, everywhere. The website, you can see and have access to the audio content, or you just come right to our YouTube page and you can get exclusive content and insider analysis from somebody who covers the team and is available to read your comments and reply. Thanks, everybody. Lions, Cowboys, Thursday Night Football. We'll talk soon, probably tomorrow.